be not the doer. And in general, there was a lot of question on what does it mean, be not the doer? So I think I start off by saying, well, I told you to release to get everything you want. When you are released, you have no sense of doership. Everything falls into line, right? That's it. When you are released, you experience the sense of being not the doer. So that ought to connect for every one of you. When you're completely released, it just happens with no effort. And so you sit back and watch it happen. Is the experiencing you go through. That's being not the doer. Now, you can't stop action. You cannot go into inaction because of your karma. But you should use the action to grow by the action. And one of the big biggies is be not the doer. Watch it happen. Your sense is you're sitting in a theater watching the show go on when you be not the doer. The newer ones to this idea have any question on it? I think the three of you last night had a real good experience of what it means to not be the doer. The three, do you have any question on the sense of being in action and being not the doer?
I don't know I have a question, because this is what I was working on last night.
Stealing my show, huh?
Maybe I was hearing your show from far.
You could.
But I got to the point where, and this is what confused me, where even my will seems senseless.
It is.
But at that point,
if you can be not the doer.
Yeah.
But if you cannot be not the doer, then will is usable. Will is effort, efforting to undo the effort. But there's a power in you. It's a willpower where you can decree, if you will. Now willing is good, because you could will out the whole thing if you so decided. I've yet to see the first one do it. Okay, so what's your question now?
You just answered it. Thank you.
See, with Alan, I was able to explain it in relative to something that was going on. He wanted to make a preparation for somebody to do something that he would like them to do. And he asked me if I'd call that party, and I said no. Well, in his idea, you had to go to get ready for it. My concept was, in a matter of 30 seconds, I'll have the whole thing completed when I see this person. Because I'm not the doer. It happens right away. If I continue to be not the doer. If I am the doer, then I got to make preparations, I got to do convincing, I got to do asking, and, a lot of roundabout stuff. But when you're not the doer, it's the sense of letting go and letting God do it. You actually sit by and watch the body action go on, just as you would a moving picture of your body. think you've all experienced times when you were not the doer and you saw things happen, right? Right? So you've all experienced it. And experience is the main thing that we need to use to learn. We cannot learn intellectually through the mind, through the head. The mind is the enemy. The mind is the obstacle. The only way we can learn is through experiencing. And each and every one of the 6 of you has experienced being not the doer and watching the thing fall into line without effort. All right, now the thing to accomplish is to have that happen all the time. When it did happen, was it miserable? But every time you effort, you're unhappy. You're striving, you're struggling. Every time you effort, you're not happy. But the moment you let go of identifying yourself as being the body, things are effortless. I should add body-mind. The opposite sides of the same coin, the mind and the body. The mind says the body is there. So experiencing is something you should know, the difference between the intellect and experiencing. Everything you accumulate even now in the intellect, you're going to have to drop. To get that intellect, that mind totally quiet. Everything you've learned in your lifetimes, you're going to dump. After which, you're omniscient. After which, you're in touch with your beingness, which is omniscient. And what thinking would omniscience require? If everything is known, what is there to think about? So you shift from using your head, which is your block, to quieting that head, so you just remain as your beingness. And everything is effortless. Everything falls perfectly into line. And you're in the perfect happiness that there is. That's really your basic nature. You know, I feel like stopping there. It's such an important, powerful point. I feel if I talk on further, I just dilute it. So let's stick to that as being the point of this meeting. Sorry, could you keep a record of what the major topic was of each meeting? You've got the first 4, have you not? Or the first 5. And make this number 6. Because someday we'll want to do it again. I remember in the early days they'd put a tape recorder on and I'd say, oh, I wish that were not on. No, it would go, and when I'd replay it was blank. There's nothing out there but your picture. And for some years, when anyone took a picture of me, I wasn't on the picture. And if it was a crowd, everyone would come out but me. Until Nevadel came to town and had a national conference here. She kind of put me up high and, oh, I must be in the picture. So I said, oh Lord, let it come out this time. From that time on, my picture comes out now when people shoot it. But it's just another example. There's nothing out there but your consciousness. I know what did it. Oh, I'm not that body. That body's just an imagination. So it didn't come out on the negative. Nor on the positive. Okay, so I'll turn it off.
Well, I have a question. This is going to sound like a funny question, but how do you get yourself into the place of not being a doer?
Me? I just say I'm not the doer and that's it.
Not you. How do I do it?
Practice.
Practice.
Of course, the very best way, as I said before, is releasing. When you're released, you're not the doer. That bothers you sometimes.
Well, it seems like things happen. You don't really...
That's it. Things happen. You don't have to do them. They just do you in. But the sense is that release sense. You let go and it happens. With a sense of letting go and letting God. You don't have to do a thing. You just watch it happen. You're not the doer. Did that answer your question?
Sure.
It's experiential. You're not going to get it in the head.
Right.
You're going to get it in the experience. I'm dead.
So they're clapping again.
So you get it in the experience, not in the head. If you want to understand it, come back in a million years, and you still won't understand it.
Well, I don't understand it, but I have experienced it, so I'll just keep going on that.
That's it. It's the experience. I had to tell you, a friend told me that. She said, it's understanding. I says, no, understanding will keep you from being free. Boy, did she look at me. This was 2 times ago, so yesterday she said, I think I understand what you mean. She wasn't positive, but she thought so. Anyhow, understanding is in the world of duality, in the realm of Maya. I understand something. When you're in the realm of beingness, there's no understanding. Everything is known. That needs to be known. But what needs to be known? One thing only. One thing only. How long would it take you to know one thing? That you are your beingness. That's all you need to know. If you just only be your beingness, that's the experience that covers everything. Then you see, oh my gosh, I've always been omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. You are so right now. So spread your wings and be not the doer. Just fly high. Got a question?
I did. It was just the sense of, it feels like I try to make myself be the doer. But that's still ego motivated.
Control. I'm trying to control you. No, you can, so let go. It's not a make yourself do. It's a sense of letting go and letting it be. It's experiential again. You've experienced it.
Just walking over here.
See, trying to explain an experience that would be like trying to tell you how to fly an airplane or even drive a car. You've never been in an automobile. I say, just put the key in, put the shift into drive, step on the gas, and you go. If you want to go right, you turn the wheel right. If you want to go left, could you drive? I've told you everything you need to know just now about driving a car, but could you drive it? No. You need the experience. A little stronger would be an airplane. I can tell you how to fly an airplane. Go up there and And down here, quickly, experience is what counts. You do it on a bicycle. I can tell you how to ride a bicycle, but you'll never know how until you experience it. And once you experience it, you can't intellectually transfer an experience to someone else. They must experience it for themselves. So there's a distinct difference between experience and intellectual understanding. The intellectual understanding will not give you the ability to experience. It will lead you toward the experience, but it will not give you an experience because it isn't. It's in the head. It's thinkingness. It's not experiencing.
I've been recently just looking at all the concepts I have up here, like including the spiritual ones, like I'm not the body. And one thing, the way I've been working on, I want to make sure I'm going in the right direction, is even letting go of that belief. Because when I let go of the belief, I very often get more of an inner experience of that concept as opposed to just the concept.
I am not the body is admitting a body. Isn't it? That's the trickiness of the mind we're into. The mind will just trick you, shove you, keep you believing you're an infinitesimal body. The function of the mind is limitation. So when you let go of the mind, what's left over is your beingness. And that's it. And it's there right now, unlimited.